So for people who are not aware, I watch a lot of football, so I've seen this. But Damar Hamlin, he's a football player for the Buffalo Bills, and there was a game between the Bills and the Bengals this week, and he was tackled. And after he was tackled, he jumped right back up, and then the next thing you know, he just fell. He fell back. He fell out, and so he was rushed to the hospital. So it says NFL star Damar Hamlin is still in critical condition after cardiac arrest. Damar, I think, is only 24 years old. So it says Bill safety. Damar Hamlin, 24, remains in critical condition Tuesday after suffering cardiac arrest mid-game on Monday night. The NFL said the game between the Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals will not resume this week, and that no decision has been made about playing it at a later date. Hamlin collapsed during the game and his heartbeat was restored on the field. The Bills said he was taken to the Cincinnati hospital. So the problem is, and I saw the video from the doctor. There was a doctor that made a video or took the video of him being hit, tackle, and he said that because of where he was hit, in his chest and the speed, and it has to be like the right timing, it can cause this to happen for someone to go into cardiac arrest. Now, I don't know about all that. I've watched a lot of football. I've seen this hit multiple times. I've never seen this happen though, where they go into cardiac arrest. But it's not just Damar Hamlin. There's another football player, and this came forward today. Uche Nwaneri. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Now, again, this happened today, so we're in the same week here. So let me share this one. And so this gentleman, Uche, former Jaguars guard, Garland native Uche Nwaneri, I don't know how to pronounce his name, dies after collapsing at his wife's home. So they said there was no foul play suspected. And it goes on to say here, according to the report, he was at his wife's home in West Lafayette, Indiana, when she found him unresponsible in a bedroom at around 1 a.m. So the report from the coroner's office said that he died of a heart attack pending toxicology results, and autopsy showed no signs of foul play. So the question is like, that's two NFL players that have died from cardiac arrest this week. So people are starting to ask questions like, why is this happening? It's not just football players. We've seen this happen to professional soccer players as well the past year. What is happening to these athletes? And there's been different theories that have been going around, and everybody needs to be paying attention to this.
Excuse me, just 1 second, Savvy. You said both died of heart attack? Damar
is alive. Damar's in critical condition in the hospital.
Okay, I just want to make sure to clarify.
Yeah, his family said they're still waiting for him, but Uche died.
Wow.
And these are top, like, these ain't no average man. I know when we think about, people, we just thinking about them like, oh, you thinking they relate to you? Like, no, these people work out down there every day. Nothing is, I mean, they probably do drugs. Who the fuck don't? But come on now. Top shape athlete, 38 years old, heart attack. Maybe in the 1940s or something, but no.
Sorry, he made the hit. He wasn't hit. He made the hit. But 24 years old. 24. And I want to say to people who don't watch football, and CJ, I think CJ's more into sports as well. For people
I watch all those sports. Go ahead.
Yeah, so CJ, you can tell people the NFL rules are more tame now, way more tame now than they were like 15 years ago.
Yeah, or back when I consider like football to be one of its heydays, like the '80s, the Montana era. I've considered that. Like the rules are way different. Like it's way worse. It was way worse, but it's still not good. Like the bottom line is a lot of these sports, especially football, is one of the top ones, if not the top one. It's the one that's where you're putting black bodies essentially on the line, and black bodies are put on the line. They inject these guys up all the time with stuff to keep their pain off their knees and their ankles all the time. Like get injected with this type of stuff and get taped up where they shouldn't be playing. And you got a Dallas Cowboy player who's a young player. He's literally playing with a broken arm. He has a cast on and he's still playing, making tackles. Like so it's a ideology stemming from slavery. You know what I mean? It's an ideology of black bodies, sacrificing black bodies for money. And NFL is literally, if you didn't have black men, what would the NFL be without black men? What would the NBA be without? But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But the point that I'm making is that NFL owners and the people in the establishment, and you may heard about Skip Bayless making this point, is they feel like, who cares? You signed up for this and accepted all the white women and all the money that
the fact that Skip Bayless is a thing.
Now, you know what I mean? You can't complain now that somebody now has had a heart attack. Like, it happens now, let's move on. That's basically what Skip Bayless was saying, because the game was postponed.
The fact that Skip Bayless is a thing shows the lack of depth,
and
the intellectualism in American culture. How is he a thing? He's not even a varsity athlete, but he get paid millions of dollars to comment on sports. That doesn't make any sense. I am so disconnected from American culture. I don't understand how is he a thing? And he's so annoying. He's this white guy who hates on everybody. But anyway, the point I want to make on the story, and my internet began going in now. I don't know how long I can make it here. But I want to make let me know if you guys made this point already, because I missed a lot of this segment. But I saw reports of how the NFL was like, yeah, I want you guys take 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes to grieve and then get back on the field. Give you 5 minutes and then get back on the field and make us our fucking money. And then the reason why they didn't play is because the players and the team lock arms together. They're like, nah, fuck you, we're not playing. Now they won, but what? And I want you guys to break this down. What does that say about the NFL and their leadership and how they view these players, how they dehumanize these players? One of their close friends, literally the opposing team, was shocked by this as well. I mean, this is a devastating event to see. And then the NFL was like, go out and play.
Yeah,
it's a business.
What Skip Bayless said is reflective of what the owners want. And I want people to realize this is capitalism. And it's just like, this is no different than a fellow close employee dies and you guys go, hey, we got to keep things going.
Amazon.
Sorry. But the thing is that this is not like the NFL is some essential industry. It's not. NFL could disappear and our lives would not change in any way.
And that's
actually our lives would be better without these sports, because the clowns, the people are entertained by the clowns of the circus that is the NBA, the NFL, and they're not paying attention to what's actually going on. They're like, oh, I'm not into politics, but you will paint your whole fucking body, your team color, and go all out. Man, get your
I want to comment on this, motherfucker. I want to comment on this because that was one of the things that radicalized me faster than anything. I'm gonna read a comment and I'm gonna explain. It's no different than your boss telling you to come to work when you're deathly ill. My fucking job when I used to sell cars, my grandpa died, and they're like, all right, that's funny. I'll see you next day. I was like, all right, fuck this system, man. This shit can burn. Like that one of the things was like immediate switch. Like right when my grandpa died, to go to work the next day, like I'm not mentally fucking shattered. That my number one mentor in life, my number one male mentor, I would say, just passed away. They said, go back to selling us our cars. And I'm sure you guys got similar experiences. I'm not alone in that. I'm sure I'm not.
Yeah. Just disgusting. Yeah.
It's one of them things that was immediately
been,
radicalizing. Immediately radicalizing.
They better have locked arms because they know it was like, all right, all that Black Lives Matter shit. We got away with a lot of that, but now they really telling us that they don't even give a fuck about the niggas who make them.
Yeah, I know, make them money.
They're like, oh, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was fuck the poors.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's been hundreds of athletes in 2022 that this has happened to.
Mm-hmm.
Like the heart issues. Some people have their suspicions. They think it's jab related. I've got to be careful talking about that on here. But you have to ask, like, what gives? Like, where did this come from all of a sudden?
But the problem is that, like somebody said earlier, I meant to start, but I forgot. But someone said high school athletes die all the time when it comes to doing their sports, especially like basketball, football. You hear about it happening a lot. The thing is, that it just doesn't make national news because this is the NFL. So, and the fact that it happened twice in a week is particular. So, but it does happen a lot more often than people realize.
The weird thing, I got to mention this because I'm a martial artist. The weird thing is that in pure combat sports, MMA, Muay Thai, deaths are way rarer than in ball sports. And as I did a lot of rounds, I suffered. I mean, I'm probably got hit in the head too many times. But the thing is, like, once you're done. And that's different for football. Football is over and over again. First down, bam. Second down, bam. Third down, bam. For the most part, we sparring. You know what I mean? We chilling. We take hit, then you get hit with a good one, TKO. You done though. You take a few weeks off, you get back in training. That's actually better. That's your body healing. So even though it looked barbaric, MMA, and I see this guy, he knows this stuff as well, it's actually way less. The UFC in particular, there are some smaller organizations because they didn't have good regulation. They had deaths. But on the top level, it's extremely rare. The UFC to this day, no one ever died yet. It's a different thing, and it's something that people should consider. I mean, I still feel pretty lucid, and I sparred hundreds of rounds, three amateur fights.
My thing was, I never got football because it was like, why would I want to run into you full might? Why would I want you to run into me with pads on and a fucking helmet on your head? And like, what is you fucking stupid? You gonna I'm supposed to catch a ball? You go, man, this sport is dumb as hell, man. Whatever entertain you motherfuckers. Look at the clowns. Look at the Fantasy City Circus. You see the bright lights. Look at the flags. Look at our clowns. Okay, yeah, come again.
Hey, Rome, imagine me running that to you at full force.
Man, I wish you would. That'd be the day football turned into.
It's people who like that. I grew up in a football culture. It's people. It's men. It's in the same way you have men, machismo men. You know, they want to pound their chest. Oh, I did this. I got the most. This. I got. It's the same sort of.
Let's box, bro.
Yeah, it's like just people who want to. I remember this one guy, and we used to do those drills where you just stand in 1-2 lines. You get right to each other. And you go hut, clack, and you literally just close to just clack like that.
Oh, you guys. Oh, boy,
yeah, we used to do that all the time.
I'm too soft for that.
We was doing that in football. I played football. Like, and the funny thing, I got fucked up way more playing basketball and football than I did ever boxing and doing MMA, right? So we used to do these drills. Like, we literally 15, 16. We in our developmental years. We would go straight up in line, collide at each other, like, oh, hell yeah. I remember whether I would fuck someone up or I'll get fucked up no matter what. I'll get up like, yeah, let's go. I had toxic masculinity back then. I was like, let's go. I used to live my way back then. You know, I had a lot of issues. We used to make us do that in our teenage years. And looking back at it, it was kind of fucking crazy. We also go body too. Rome know what that is. You know,
I think
go ahead. You do a lot of dumb stuff. Go ahead, Savvy.
I think it's just interesting because now if you play fantasy football, you'll notice this. Like, players are on the injury list all the time now. Like, boom, one hit, injured. I'm like, fuck, gotta substitute that guy, right? But back in the day, if you watch like the football games, I'm talking like Terry Bradshaw. If you watch like the Chicago, like the 80s Bears, the Super Bowl Shuffle Bears, they were doing like boom, hardcore blows to the head. They weren't getting on like the injured list. And so this is something I was talking to my dad about. I'm like, why is everybody like so easily injured now. I'm talking about small things. I'm not talking about concussions, just little smaller hits, and they're out for the rest of the game. So I have noticed that change too. So I don't know if it's the food, if it's a change with their diet. I don't know what it is.
Because I remember, I forgot. I was watching some documentary, but some football players, most football players don't tell their coaches and their other comrades that they're injured or whatnot. They have to pop their shoulders back in, pop their finger back in, and get back in because it's a lot of money on the line. And
bro, it's very cutthroat. It's like what people have to understand is that this is really people vying to get out of oppression, and that's why the competition is so fierce. This is literally Black bodies competing with each other, so to get your family out of oppression. So that's why they're willing to do these things and not care about their bodies now. Like, go ahead.
CJ, go get Nick a CTE, and I'm gonna give you a couple $100,000.
Just to Savvy's point, I'm gonna say this, and I'm maybe I need to do a stream on this. I used to read up on this before I got into politics. Do you guys really believe the Food and Drug Administration in our government that says that cancer popped out literally that hundreds of times more likely in the modern year out of nowhere? That's what they want you to believe. Cancer always existed, but when you look at the 1920s, 1930s, way less prevalent. Obesity, way less prevalent. But they will have you believe that people becoming more depressed, that their brain is broken, that all this stuff is happening randomly instead of we're being fucking poisoned. That's you guys not ready for that fucking conversation. The FDA, if you guys don't trust Big Pharma, if you guys don't trust the military industrial complex, if you guys don't trust Wall Street, why do you trust the capitalist fucks who've been lying to you about dietary? And they lied to you about cigarettes. They lied to you about the food pyramid in the 70s and the 80s.
They lied to you about talcum powder. They lied to you about all types of lotions.
They told us cornflakes would stop masturbation.
Not even that, but like, look at what's happening right now with L'Oreal. Like, we've been trying to tell women this for years to stop using chemical relaxers. Now they come forward and admit that chemical hair relaxants can cause uterine cancer. So I know people that have been using this for years. For people who don't know what a relaxer is is a chemical straightening process that will straighten African American hair. Got to say that for people.
That's such a great point, Savvy. I'm glad you.
But that's been, but Nick, that's been going on for years. I remember little girls. I remember when I was little, and I asked my mom if I could get one. My mom said no, and I was like, "But everybody got one." Mom was like, "No." See, back then,
mom.
That's right.
Savvy's mom base as hell. She's like, hell
no. She said no. But like back then, natural hair wasn't popular. Now it's more popular because people realizing like what some of these products are doing to people.
Yeah, Big Food want to sell you sugar, and they killed us for it. Once I might do a stream on this. I'm gonna bring some experts on, come forth. But go ahead, JB. I know you want to chime in. Go ahead, JB.
No, yeah. One of the things I think that needs to be also reflected on is that these football players are laborers. Mm-hmm. You have to remember, yes, they may be making millions of dollars, but they're doing it for their labor. They are literally working for their labor.